Boopity bop. Planet Coaster 2-2. Ah, yes. That's what I'm gonna have to wait for. Alright, let's pause the Planet Coaster music. There's enough of that. I'm done. Stop. I said stop. Oh my goodness, how laggy is my browser? There, jeez. I did that like forever ago. My goodness gracious. Yeah, so today is Wednesday, the 6th of November. It was the release date. Whoops. I don't have my camera on this layout. And it's set to display capture. And this isn't even the right layout. There's many problems here. Let's turn off the display capture. Let's go to the right layout where my camera is on and it is facing the wrong direction. Oi, camera, do you want to... Oh, it's time for the big face reveal. Ooh. 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 Anyway, normal tracking. Put this back on here. But yeah. Ghost Harmonia week 2 late for Halloween. Yeah, that's right. I still have my stupid proton pack back here after Halloween. Because I still haven't put it away yet. Because it's like really awkward to get in and out of my closet. And I'm lazy. So the proton pack is still there after Halloween. Look at your wish list and found out that Baldur's Gate 3 is on sale for less than $50 right now. So you requested a refund for Planet Coaster 2? I'm gonna pick up Baldur's Gate 3 instead. Nice. Yeah. I'm starting to wonder if that would have been like a smart option for me as well, considering yeah, Planet Coaster 2 that just released today. It's not super great, is it now? It's not I haven't exactly been like super impressed by it. It feels very much like an Atari published Roller Coaster Tycoon game that's like broken, buggy, and unfinished. I was planning on streaming this a little bit yesterday, but I was just so dang tired. Since I knew that I wasn't going into work today since there was like the whole research day going on campus. But I was just so dang tired, I needed to get to bed. But then I started thinking a lot about The Walking Dead Season 2, the playthrough that I did on Halloween with like my spooky Halloween stuff in the background here. And I thought about like, I wonder what happens with the different possibilities. And then I went down to like the rabbit hole of all the different possibilities of like things that could happen, as I would have done like, what, 11 years ago when that game first came out in 2013, which is crazy to think about. So I actually ended up staying late after all last night, despite not streaming, and going down that rabbit hole. And then got up today to the sound of like major basement renovations that were going on all throughout the day. Like, I was just streaming Planet Coaster 2, so you probably heard a decent bit of that going on in the background there. And it was not super great. The game seems like super broken and unfinished, and I thought I'd just be streaming that today, but it doesn't work right now, and I think I'd rather just not play it until there's hopefully patch notes that are like, yep, it's fixed and it works now, because it doesn't really at the moment. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that, but I'm not playing that right now, so let's play a little bit of this instead. Yeah, maybe they'll fix it and I'll buy it in a week or two for $20 on sale. Yeah, maybe here. Because I was planning on streaming it yesterday, I did boot into the game yesterday. And yeah, no Odyssey quests, no add-on quests. And I looked up a guide, like all the quests that you have to do as part of a guide, and I saw all these names. So I assume I need to do all these. So it's just a little smidge of grindy stuff is what it is. Which is also a good opportunity to ramble about other things. So I guess I did the thing that was over there. I thought there was question marks on the outskirts. Well, I did that instead of the Titan. No, I'm thinking of something else. I'll find a thing somewhere. It's fucked up that it's been a week since Halloween. It's crazy how time flies, right? Another reason why that still isn't put away yet is because I was busy with the 24-hour Cherry Stream 11 this past weekend. I'll just mark this for now. Scatter around the Domus of Atlantis. Where are the Domus? Is it a Domus, right? I guess I'm going to the Domus, is what I'm doing here, while I ramble about stuff. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about the 24-hour Cherry Stream 11 and the outcome of that. And the story of that actually does start with Halloween. So, Extra Life's game day is always pretty much the first weekend after Halloween. So I thought, oh, I always do like a special event Halloween stream. What if my special event Halloween stream is also like a mini charity stream before like the main event on the weekend of the 24-hour Cherry Stream 11? So, I decided that I wanted to do that. I did it as like a little mini fundraiser thingamabob. And this year I wanted to play through The Walking Dead Season 2 of the Telltale games, start to finish. But it was also a work day for me. I was on campus in my Luigi cosplay with the proton pack here strapped to my back with all the lights blaring. I should go ahead and save here really quickly. And some people thought that was really cool. Some people thought, like, what the heck? Ghostbuster Luigi? How does that make any sense? Clearly not knowing what Luigi does in his video games, unfortunately. But I was sorting out, like, a whole bunch of study materials at work that weren't being used anymore and weren't needed for, like, the studies that they were initially acquired for and could be donated to, like, other studies or, if there's any use for them in the hospital, which... in that case, what actually happened to be the Stolly Children's Hospital, which is the same one that was being fundraised for, interestingly enough. Just to salvage what's still usable of, like, study supplies and useful things there. So I spent my day doing that, occasionally walking around campus and the hospital a little bit in my Luigi cosplay with the Ghostbusters stuff. So I only got home, like, a decent bit later in the day because it was a full work day. And... according to How Long to Beat, The Walking Dead Season 2 is about 10 hours in length, which turned out to be, like, insanely accurate, because that's actually about exactly how long it took me to beat it, was 10 hours. So, that was right on the money there. And, I started a decent bit late, but I was like, oh, I can stay up a little bit later if I need to. And then I kept on feeling like I was getting so close that I may as well commit, and long story short, it was 5 in the morning by the time I wrapped up. So, Halloween 31st, I started streaming that game. Then November 1st at 5 in the morning, I ended up beating it. Wow, this is enough now. Thanks to my new gear and stuff. That's awesome. Thank you, spear thing here. Well, stab. Right in the dick. No more peeing for you. On the job, that's what happens. So, I was up pretty decently late on the 1st of November. And on the 2nd of November, I needed to wake up at 5 in the morning to try and get to the venue, the physical event of Extra Life Edmonton, at about 6 in the morning to help with setup, was my plan. So, I was awake at a time where it's like, I need to be awake again 24 hours from now. So I didn't exactly put myself into a super great state there, let's say. And also, quickly, the reason for playing The Walking Dead Season 2 is I always have, like, a spooky game that I'm streaming on Halloween, and, last year, that was Luigi's Mansion 1, ending off the trilogy, since I played them in reverse chronological order, like a weirdo. And The Walking Dead Season 1 of the Telltale games was, like, my general spooky month playthrough that I did, like, throughout the month of October. I usually have, like, one of each, like, a special event Halloween stream and one just throughout the month. But I felt like I didn't have enough time to put in one throughout the month this year, so I was like, oh, let's just have one on Halloween. And let's just have it be the continuation of the... not Halloween event last year, but the Halloween month event last year. Whoa. There's a little bit of damage for me, at least. Whoops, what I figured made sense. I gotta get used to this other weapon control scheme now. Whoa. I gotta remember how to play this video game. So I ended up playing that. Took me 10 hours, unfortunately. And I was like, alright, here's my strategy. Let's purposefully set my alarm so I don't get a full 8 hours of sleep. Oh yeah, I can't parry that. So I have enough energy to do things the following day, or later that same day, I guess you could say, is what it was. Oh, come on. Because I needed to, like, pack up and prepare for the Extra Life event proper. Get the car fully loaded with my stuff and my little cousin's stuff. So I set my alarm so I'd get 5 hours of sleep, which was enough to go... oh, I should have gotten the thing that gave me more adrenaline. Whoops. But I was pretty ready to go to bed, like, pretty early. Armor scattered around the domus, they're carried by Atlantean pole marches. Pole marks, or whatever the heck. So is that not here? Is this not one of those places? Did I... what? I swear this is one of the domus, though. I don't think I've been here before. So anyway, I, purposefully made myself not get all that much sleep so I could function, but then go to bed early. Musings of a Vaimon. Mounted upon a Vaimon's wall was the head of the beast in mid-howl. He called it a wolf, though I'd seen nothing like it. A new creation, perhaps? I guess I'll grab this thingamabob here. Yeah, that's the last thingamabob here. And I don't see the guy that I'm actually looking for. So, yeah, the Halloween event had me in a little bit of a state, sleep-wise. House from cycles past, Atlantis, echoes of Atlantis, like some sort of forgotten creature in an abandoned house hides underneath the bridge. Yeah, I don't care. There is not one of the guys here. Scattered around the domus of Atlantis. Well, are you sure about that? The thing there. Slightly different symbol. It looks like there's one more outline on that one at the very top left, I think. Maybe I came through here and I took a guy out or something? Because I already have one. I don't know. I don't know. Where am I going next? This is a dumbass. This is... Oh, I don't have the Atlantis Pole March kill. Wait. Wait, that's the guy that I killed and kept respawning. I think it's because I didn't loot him then. Because I need, like, the loot for this one quest. That would actually explain it. Oh. That's why that guy kept on respawning. Okay. Anyway. So, for this Extra Life event, this was gonna be my first time not going it alone. I was going with my cousin's older kiddo, because my cousin and his kids always like going to LAN events like Fragapalooza and Mega FPS's events. I've been going for a long, long time. Way longer than I. And, so... I remember when I mentioned the Extra Life event, he had asked if he could come along, and I was like, well, you can, but keep in mind, it's not like a Mega FPS or Fragapalooza that goes on for, like, several days of gaming. Like, it's literally just a 24-hour event, and then that's it. Just destroying your sleep one night, and then, you know, packing up all your stuff to go there, just to spend one day there, and then pack it up and head home the immediate next day, if you'd still like to do that. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay. I guess we're doing that then. So that was, come on. So that was what we ended up doing. So, on Friday, we did a bunch of packing together. We went to a grocery store together to pick out some good snackums to go through there. Picked up some bagels to turn into a whole bunch of sandwiches, even though I think I'm the only one that had any from there, which kind of surprised me. We got all packed up on Friday and got the car all packed with pretty much no trouble at all because of, like, experience from Fragapalooza, filling the car with a bazillion things. Whoa. That's what that's supposed to look like. So we just, like, masterfully Tetrised all the stuff in there on Friday night. And then Saturday morning, 5 in the morning, I never actually... Yeah, it's the same place. I never actually slept at all during the night. I feel like whenever I have, like, a big test coming up, or, like, a big event, or whatever the heck, something big coming up, my body just can't really sleep. I was stuck in one of those half-awake, half-asleep states all night without ever truly falling asleep. And by the time 5 in the morning rolled around, like, I was pretty much already at the ready to get up. My alarm wasn't really needed to get me up at that point. And, I got up, hopped in the car, headed out to go pick him up. We grabbed some food on the way. We got there at 6:21 in the morning on Saturday, November 2nd. And it seems like that might have been a little bit early because the guy that plans out the cabling network for Extra Life, John, one of the Fragapalooza staff, wasn't going to be there for a little while. So we did some minor stuff that we could to help out at the time, and then we just, like, set up my Switch in tabletop mode, and we played a little bit of Smash Ultimate while we were waiting. And we couldn't set up, like, our own computers and stuff yet, because we weren't entirely sure if the place that the frag tables were currently at was the place that they were going to stay, or if we were going to shift tables around, and we did ultimately end up shifting tables around. Should I, like... And they're not going to suspect anything, right? It counted me as in combat for a second there. What? This is fine. Look, there's a bunch of damage on that guy. I gotta kill that guy and then loot him. Oh, the statues are awake now. So then John arrived and we sorted through the cabling, got stuff set up, and my little cousin has a lot more experience with that than I do. Like, he's set up and dismantled a lot more frags than I have. So he was very much taking charge with a lot of the cabling stuff. And he's just 15 years old. Like, he's still really young, but he was basically one of the main people with, like, the cabling set up at the Extra Life event at that point. And, there was a lot of volunteers for the Stollery Children's Hospital. So not Extra Life specific volunteers, but just Stollery volunteers that help out with, like, Stollery related events and fundraisers and things like that. So by proxy, they were helping out with Extra Life. So it seems that my little cousin went from the role of, like, student to teacher, because other frag people were telling him, like, hey, you know how to do this stuff. How about you teach these guys how to do it? So he was showing other people how to, like, set up the cabling for all the setups and everyone to get, like, their computer setups going and stuff there. So we got things set up, power-wise. Internet-wise, I don't know what exactly was missing, but apparently there was some sort of connectors that were missing. And so there was no internet in the venue for a decent while, apart from connecting to the Starbucks Wi-Fi of the Starbucks upstairs just above it. So yeah, there was that. Are they still looking for me? Is my thing recharged? Well, I guess I'll just do it again then. Slow and steady wins the race after all. So whatever was missing, the connectors or whatever the heck, John had to go out and get those. And the initial plan with the venue was, you have the Fragapalooza table as basically like the head table thingamabob at the front, like a head table-like position. It's not the head table, but it looks like it would be. And then you have rows of all the, then you have rows of all the registered attendees that are like doing 24-hour charity streams or other content for the charity event here. Can I? Pretty sure he respawned when I kicked him off over here before, so maybe I shouldn't be trying to do that. But anyway, the plan with the rows was to distribute when everyone came in, so that not everyone was coming in at once. So like, one row of tables would come in at like 8:30 to 9. The scheduled start time for context was 11 a.m. is when it was going to start. Opening ceremonies were happening. Is this one that I can chain with people, or it's just a single target thing? Okay, it's just a single target thing. Whoa. So with it starting at 11, we'd have people coming in this row at like 8:30 to 9, and then this table coming in at 9:30 to or 9 to 9:30, and then one at 9:30 to 10, stuff like that. So that people are set up and ready to go at 11, and whoa, it cycles them around a little bit, so it's not everyone all at once. Was the idea. But because we didn't really have things properly set up for like so long before the event actually started, we still didn't have internet going, but there were so many people waiting in like the audience area with their setups ready to come into the LAN area that we were just like, yeah, let's just start letting them in. So despite the fact that there was no internet, we started letting people into the venue, and they started getting set up and doing what they could. And the opening ceremonies happened before the internet was even up. So I wasn't quite able to stream the opening ceremonies of the event, unfortunately. And it was, well, as the opening ceremonies were wrapping up, that we managed to get things sorted out. But the order in which the ragdoll is so silly. But the order in which the internet was figured out. Oh yeah, this thingamabob, it's different now. I'm gonna need to double check what it actually does here now. So I'm gonna have to do. Okay, and then loot him. And then loot him. And then loot him, please. Oh, I have to confirm kill on him. Jeez, those guys don't want to leave for some reason. Alright, there's another thing that I need. Anyway, the order that the internet was set up, the Fragapalooza table actually ended up getting internet first. So some of the other frag staff were commenting to me being like, yeah, currently we have internet, whereas no one else does when we're the ones setting up the internet, and that's a really bad look for us. And I was like, oh, whoops. So there was that. That's a Doma. So that was the pole march that I killed before. This has got to be a Doma. So I'll head that way, I think. Pick up that thingamabob. I'm at 2 out of 5 here. So that was the internet stuff initially with the event. So I ended up streaming 24 hours of pinball games was my goal. Because I already knew that I wanted to play Metroid Prime pinball. And then after Reggie Bump asked, like, ever gonna do Pokemon pinball? And I ended up going down the rabbit hole and finding out there's a whole bunch of Nintendo pinball games. And I was like, how funny would it be if I did them all? As I've mentioned here during this playthrough before. So I started out with pinball for the NES, and the stream quality was not great. I was dropping frames like crazy. It was really, really bad in the beginning. It did get better as it went on, but it was really, really bad in the beginning. But I figured, like, oh, it's just NES pinball. It probably doesn't matter that much, right? If that's not all that great. So it would dip in and out, and eventually everyone got internet, and we got things properly underway. Crap, I don't know. Let's just go here then, because I don't know how I'm gonna climb the other thing otherwise. So, for what my little cousin wanted to do there, he wanted to start a new file of Elden Ring and take down all the Remembrance bosses, so all like the main bosses of the game. And that was gonna be like his challenge, and I figured like, oh, if you're undergoing a gaming challenge, none of the games that I'm doing are like a full 16:9. So, like, I can just slap like a 16:9 rectangle somewhere on my layout if you want to be like on my stream there. And he was like, sure, okay. So now he can say that he partook in like a 24-hour charity stream himself to help fundraise for the Starlight Children's Hospital. So I always had like a little subsection on my layout that had space for a 16:9 square that said Rises All Remembrances Run. goes by Rise Online, and they would show him playing Elden Ring, and then you'd get to see like the Elden Ring progress at the same time that I was playing through all the pinball games. And there's like a couple things to watch there, and he's doing like his own gaming challenge. And I made like rewards, things like make us switch for a little while, so I start playing Elden Ring and he starts playing my pinball games. That was only used once, was the case. I think that was the only reward that was redeemed through the entire stream, like, at all. There was, I think this was like the least amount of rewards ever redeemed during one of these 24-hour cherry streams, which isn't necessarily the worst thing when it was already super draining on me, I suppose. But anyway, so he was doing that. So he was playing Elden Ring for a decent while there. What's probably the next big thing that happened? We did have like some more frag people coming in and helping out with setup, and some people that would be streaming for a little while. Like one of my streamer friends there, Maverick, one of the frag staff, was planning on doing a 12-hour stream there, and was like really surprised to hear that like I was doing 11 24-hour cherry streams, if I recall, because yeah, even 12 hours can be a decent while. But he was there to be there until like the following morning. So last year, I'm pretty sure I was the only Fragapalooza person that was there streaming for 24 hours straight up until the end of the event. But this time I was not alone. I was with my cousin's kiddo, and there were some other frag people that stayed there through the night, like Maverick. And when I was getting like really tired and needing to take walks and wander around, it was nice to like chat with him about Xenoblade Chronicles of all things. And take a little bit of a mental break from some of the pinball stuff. So the event was going on. One of the things that they had there was this like little miniature inflatable obstacle course where you'd be given Nerf guns and then go around and like shoot one another in there. And my little cousin and I had to look at it, and it was filled with just like completely really little kids. I felt like if I went in there, I'd just like plow over a bunch of children. Might also adjust the volume here because I adjusted the sound of my my mic recently because I thought I was at risk of peaking. So I'm gonna adjust the game to like here-ish or something like that. Might be a little bit better. We disaway. Oh, and there's my quest down there, so I can just like accept that after I do this in a second, because this has gotta be a Doma, right? Surely has gotta be. Right? Come on, let's see it. But then we thought, like, we gotta do it at least once while we're here, so let's, yeah, it is a Doma. Yeah, and I'm doing this now instead of Planet Coaster 2. So we figured, let's just go in sometime when it's, like, almost the end of the event, and there's, like, not many people in there. Yeah, I was wrapping up Planet Coaster 2. Which I did. Is that, everyone there? Just make sure I have everything marked. What am I missing here? Something there? So that's what we ended up deciding to do. But the main event that was going on later in the evening was Smash Ultimate. Nope, this is still the same stream, so I haven't had the chance. Let's see here. Odie Bop. It's mostly the pole march that I have to kill here. Winky wink. Because a decent while back, Extra Life Edmonton had ended up reaching out to me asking if I had any interest in hosting a Smash tournament at the venue. A charity Smash tournament. I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool. I'm down to do that. But due to scheduling, for one, with the fact that I said the Fragapalooza Smash tournaments that I hosted of doubles and singles each took 6 hours, and the fact that I need a space to put me, because like the LAN gaming area is a private area, because if you're in the middle of like the biggest mall in the country, you probably don't want random people from the public coming by and just being like, ooh, a controller, I'll just pick that up. So you need to have like the wristbands that the registered entities had on in order to get into that area, or have like a guest pass and stuff like that, so that there's not as much worry about theft. So because I was streaming from like the private area, if I was hosting a tournament, that means that people from the public playing in the tournament wouldn't exactly be able to easily come over and ask me questions, or check what the bracket is like, or see how they register, or stuff like that. So I would need to be somewhere in the public area, and there wasn't really appropriate space to put me in the public area. So it ended up getting scoped down to just, let's do an hour of free play on the stage, as opposed to like a full dedicated tournament. So that's what it ended up being. From 7 to 8 p.m., I was scheduled to host Smash Ultimate free play on the venue stage on the West Edmonton Mall ice rink as part of Extra Life to help fundraise for the Starlight Children's Hospital, which is cool that I can say that that's something that I ran now. Also had a dream about another crush you had during the nap you took. Super comforting. Holy shit, it made you sad when you woke up because you realized it wasn't real. I know that feel when it comes to those kinds of dreams, not exactly a great feeling. So I figured that I would do something similar to what I did at Fragapalooza. Here. We concentrate on stabbing this guy a little bit first, and then break the wall, and then... Dang it. I mean, I guess I will need to loot him afterwards, so maybe I shouldn't completely knock him off. Might not be the best idea. And at Fragapalooza, I always have the switch dock set up, like, really close to the front of the stage, so I can... Oh. What? How did he live that? What? What? I don't know how the heck he lived that, but, Here, let's just, like... If I just crouch and hide and he loses me, then I can do this, too. Right? Can I target him? No? Hold on. Yeah, lots of health. Yeah. Dreams better avoided. I don't know if I can target him. My thing. Maybe I'm a little bit far. Here. There we go. And then I can get a critical assassinate myself. But at the Extra Life venue, I got most of it set up ahead of time, because that 1 hour from 7 to 8 p.m. that I had for Smash is like everything, including setup and teardown. So, because there was a band playing up until 7 p.m. and another band that was scheduled to start at 8 p.m. So, I just completely had an hour, and that's it. So I got most of the things set up beforehand, and my switch dock was set up in the AV area. Stabby stab. Running through a splitter, and then a HDMI cable could be run to me at, like, my table setup. Where last year I was at the part of the Fragapalooza area furthest from the stage. This year I was closest, so I could reach that HDMI cable and be nice and conveniently close to the stage where I was running the thingamabob. Where I wouldn't even be at my computer during that, but still good to have, like, my setup close to that. And less space for the cable to run across. But because the, I don't really need this here. But because I had the switch dock, like, right in the AV area, basically at the back left corner of the stage, I didn't exactly have easy access to USB ports, like, at the front of the stage where people were going to be playing. And I basically needed to, well, have my controllers be wired, because Fragapalooza this year taught me that if you have your controllers wireless in a venue full of, like, so many Bluetooth signals going around, those controllers aren't going to be working. And I figured it would be, like, a similar thing with the Extra Life event. If you used a controller wirelessly at Fragapalooza, yeah, you're gonna be dealing with, like, 1 or 2 second, like, input delay. Like, it was insane. It was basically unplayable. So I want to make sure things are wired. So I used the crazy chain of extension cables that I used to run from my computer all the way around this office to my 3D print cam over there. Whoops. Uh-oh. That's not good. Uh-oh. So I used that to go from the switch dock at the back of the stage through USB extension cable to another USB extension cable, plugged into a USB hub, plugged into another USB hub. I just flicked my nose there. Okay, but I don't think I can kick you in that same way. But I'm doing so much damage, so it's okay. So I just had, like, a GameCube controller adapter plugged into a couple ports, and then, like, Pro controllers plugged in by USB-C cables to the other ports for a total of 8 controllers, of 4 GameCube controllers and 4 Pro controllers to go up to 8 people. And I found out that that doesn't exactly work super well either. Like, I think it would work better at a venue like Fragapalooza where, 1, there's less people playing at once, and 2, those signals are going in through, like, different USB ports on the dock itself, as opposed to, here's signals from 8 controllers that are all collectively being fed through 1 USB port. Because controllers, some of them started to lag, some of them were definitely better than others, and controllers started to disconnect randomly in the middle of the event, which is not great. And it would go onto that screen where it's like, controller disconnected, select the character that you were just playing there. So it was not particularly great. Oh, you see me there? Uh-oh. 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 And it definitely got worse as it went on. As it went on, there was definitely more interest in the event being garnered. So, like, in the very beginning, there was 5 people, including my little cousin and I, that were playing. So basically, like, 3 other people. I may as well scan the Isu data cache while I'm here. And then by the end, there was 8 people, not including us too. So, definitely went up by a lot, and the controllers definitely got worse and worse as it went on. I think if I do something like this again in future years, I'm going to need to have that Switch dock be closer and plug it into different USB ports. I think I'll have learned my lesson from this year. Because, yeah, that did not get, that did not exactly go super great. Let's go accept this quest while I'm over in the area here. But I think people had fun, which is good and the important part.